All right, One Piece, 1161. I'm having a wonderful time. It's the God Valley flashback. No one in the story is having a wonderful time. So we start off with the appearance and showing God Valley Island again. I can only imagine we're showing this so many times because it's going to be obliterated. When they mean it was wiped off the map or erased from existence, they're going to mean it gone. So the narrator starts off talking about how this is a place where fate and motives erupt in a battlefield of hell on earth, essentially. It's a very bad time for everybody. And I've never really asked too much about the narrator of One Piece, so I, in two other series, have been very firm in my hatred, despise, unreasonably so hatred of narrators. And I maintain that, but when they're at the beginning of a chapter or the end of a chapter, or it fits in naturally to the story, like it feels like someone reading a textbook or a news article or something like that, I'm very much okay with it. My personal opinion is I think the common one, and that is Usopp is telling the story to probably Kaya or somebody about his adventures and looking back on everything. So that's what I would think, who I think the narrator is. But and obviously no one's going to believe him because it's all a ridiculous tale, but I would like to know what other common theories of who this narrator is for who is for the story. But anywho, we got the God Valley flashback continuing on. There's a celestial dragon that's giving one of the Marines a really hard time, and he's just trying to, save their lives. Let's get out of here. I'll get you the prize you want. I'll take responsibility for that. Let's go. You're going to take responsibility for everything. There are pirates attacking, and you are going to die. Let's go. Roger is looking for Shakky. Rox is looking for Teach and Iris, something like that. We're assuming his wife. I had some things going around saying maybe it was his sister that's taking care of Rox, but I think wife is the common theory there. And Garp is, of course, looking for Roger. Garp being on the island we knew he was on vacation at one point and only came because he heard Roger was there and Rox and all that. He wants a good fight, and he's been hunting Roger forever. But, I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt later in the chapter to assume he doesn't know the full extent of what the celestial dragons are doing on this island. He has some knowledge, they're off on that party again. Who knows? We know what they get up to, but I don't think he really believes the worst case scenario is actually what's happening. Cut to Dragon, who's becoming my favorite character of this arc pretty soon. He is running with the two babies, trying to get them to safety, thinking about how if he saves these children, he can redeem himself for the horrors and his part that he played setting up everything that's happened in this hunting game. When another not Celestial Dragon, well, sort of Celestial Dragon, God's Knight shows up with a two-tone hair, and she's smoking a cigarette, and she attacks them, laser beam to the back, coming out the chest. Thankfully, not the same place his son got a shot to, but it is kind of cool that they both have very similar injuries now. So he falls down, and one of the babies was taken. She talks on the transponder snail, yeah, I got him. Garling is going to absolutely obliterate us if we lose these kids. So he didn't care about the mom, but he wants the kids, or he would be upset and kill someone for losing the kids. Is it just because, hey, this is his bloodline, and he purposefully got his heirs for some reason, and now he needs them for something else? Yes, probably, but I still say that the bloodline is important. He chose this woman with her signature red hair, and there's a reason for it. I maintain it is the Waters bloodline. Also, side note, I was running through, okay, who else could be a Waters besides La? Water La. And I'm just Water Lily? Really? No. Terrible idea. Not happening, but you never know. Anywho, Dragon, unconscious, thinking he has failed, and that with all the death around, this is the best outcome for him. He's distraught by the role he played, however small, in putting these things into effect, getting these citizens to be turned into rabbits for this game. And just as he is about to be killed by the attack from the God's Knight, kind of like how the narrator said, fate intervened, attack in the distance, gets her by coincidence, she's slashed in half, but she's fine a couple panels later because, God's Knight can just pull themselves together. But it's Whitebeard. He was attacking somebody, and Big Mom starts arguing with him. It's you trying to take me out too? And Shakky's coming up behind him. Yeah, almost killed me. And he's you were fine. It was an accident. Collateral damage. I didn't mean it. I love Whitebeard, and apparently I love him even more when he fights with Big Mom. Dragon just looks at them like they're huge, watching these giant monsters who aren't even giants walking through. What else happens? Kaido ends up showing up, so him and Shakky are both mad. Big Mom's also mad at my beloved Whitebeard for nearly killing them in his attack, or they would have been fine. They're strong. And then, the worst decision in the world, some no-name pirates are like, hey, that's the Rocks Pirates. If we take them out, we'll be legends. Instead of thinking those are the Rocks Pirates, we better run. We are out of our league. Gotta go. No, the idiots choose to fight them. To which we have a beautiful panel spread of those four, like, fighting together. And it's wonderful. And I love them. And the fact that this flashback is going to end with the dissolving of the Rocks Pirates, of something happening somewhere theoretically Rox's death. I refuse to believe it. And the members just dispersing about and becoming like villains, except for Whitebeard, who's an angel. I'm not happy. Don't want that. But they choose to fight them. Like the idiots they are. Bad idea. Dragon pulls himself up, realizing he fell on one of the babies and only one was taken from him. And we're assuming this is Shanks, unless they get switched again. Unlikely. Let's go with Occam's razor for most likely this is Shanks. Bump on his head, X's for eyes. He was a little squished. Dragon's like, okay, I failed your brother. I can save you. And he takes off running just as Garp shows up, landing his own attack, to which Linlin is just like, this ain't good. Prometheus and Zeus is here. He could tell Nami what happened here. Blasts Garp with a fireball attack, which he brushes off like a monster. He looks terrifying in this panel, and I absolutely love it. However, he's also fighting on the monster's sides. And he's just like, this isn't even hot enough to cook a proper steak. And that hit hard, but I'm like, there was some line in some show where someone gets hit by a fireball and it's just like, I take my tea hotter than this. And I always loved it. So I love that moment. Garp is just like, Dad. And he's, to me, it's not like he runs to his father for help and protection. He just doesn't scream out to him. Is this the moment that he's like, my dad is a high level in the Marines, maybe not as high as he is in present day, but he's a force to be reckoned with in the Marines. He serves these people. He fights for the Celestial Dragons. He protects them. He is here as a Marine to fight these pirates. The pirates who, coincidentally, wasn't intentional, but still, they saved him by taking out a Celestial Dragon God's Knight. And Garp is technically here fighting with the God's Knights. Is this the moment that he realizes, hey, my father might be on the wrong side, or he's not doing enough? Maybe he has heard Garp talk in the past about how not all Marines are perfect, the world governments are full of a bunch of asses, they need to be taken down a peg, there's nothing good about them, but to work from the inside is the proper way to change this. And he realizes now, no, you can't work from the inside to change this. You have to fight back. Again, he shot that Celestial Dragon. My bad. I said he shot and killed him and chose violence, but he did choose violence rather than working within the system. But stunned him. Stun gun. Whatever. But I think this is probably the moment, to me, that he realizes, I need to fight back a different way than my father. And I want them to have a conversation, even if he is just amazed and awestruck by his father's skill and power, which is probably what's going on. I need them to have a conversation where they hash out their ideals and how they think the best way to help the most people serve the world is, and how to change the world government and the system and the Marines. It's like, yes, the Marines can have good in them, but so long as they are in a corrupt system, there can be no benefit truly. Working from the inside is not the way to do it. Yes, the work from the inside is the peaceful way to do it. It'll do the most good. We can serve and help the most people here. No, it's not. Do you not see what's happening? I saw the true devastation. You came later when people were already dead and running and hiding. You didn't see the terror and the fear. You were just here fighting because your own fight, not caring about these people. I need a conversation of these two discussing the God Valley incident. I need it so much. And again, I'm going to give Garp the benefit of the doubt. He was on vacation. He claims to know what the Celestial Dragons were up to, but even Whitebeard is just like, I thought the hunting of people was an exaggeration, a lie, propaganda against the world government. Like, I know they're bad. I didn't think they were that bad. So I'm hoping, I'm praying that Garp just doesn't know the full extent, or he's willfully blind to it. He's choosing to ignore it. He's choosing not to see it, not to accept it. And I hope that when he's faced with it, he will recognize it for the terrible thing it is. And there's no way I can logic him saying, I still have to work from the inside to change things after seeing these horrors. I refuse. I can't do it. Garp can't do it. I just can't. So the only thing I can think of is I keep saying celestial dragon. God's knight, seen Dragon's face, knows he was the one who kidnapped the kids, and while they think that he died in the attack with Whitebeard and Big Mom and all of them, and was likely obliterated, once Dragon shows up as a revolutionary and fighting back, clearly they're going to be like, hey, that's the one who kidnapped Garling's kid. It's going to be ammunition to use against Garp, blackmail him, so he has to stay loyal to the Marines in exchange for them not putting an outright hit, Buster calls, something, all resources to go hunt down Dragon at this particular moment, because Dragon doesn't have the network, he doesn't have the power at this time. Maybe in the future he can protect himself, but right now he'd be vulnerable, so I can only pray that the reason that Garp stayed loyal was to protect his child. A child is a father's weakness. I have to believe it's something like that. Because for Garp to remain willfully ignorant after this point just does not make sense to me. Cutting to the other, I think, God's Knight with the cool hat. Yeah, okay. Should not be this excited. Should not be this excited. I like their character design, and my thought immediately was he's holding a gun, right? Or she's holding a gun. They're holding a gun. And I'm like, I really wish it was those Tommy guns where he's like an old granny and they're shooting at everybody. And then I'm like, that should not be the first thing I think about when they are shooting down a bunch of innocent people. And that is terrible. This person is a horrible person. We know that. The God's Knights are terrible. They just have cool designs. But it got me thinking, hey, isn't this the one that's with Gunko? Where is Gunko? And she's not here. She's known as the Sword of God. Is Eam going to take over? Because I feel like that was the common theory. Eam's going to show up and flip rocks to turn him evil. I don't overly like that idea. I really don't. But I do like the idea of Eam showing up. And for it to be again in Gunko's body as her being like the Sword of God, being Eam's vessel. I do like that idea. I want more information on it. So Roger's crew gets close to Shakky's location, and everyone's fighting, and they're saying, I'm going to get to her first. I'm going to save her first. She's going to fall in love with me. And to Roger's credit, when he realizes that his hands are tied, he's stuck in a fight, he can't keep moving forward at this point, saving Shakky is the key goal. Not being the first one to save her, not for her to fall in love with whoever saves her. Saving her is the goal. So he tells Rayleigh, go get to her. It has to be you. You're the only one who can. And we cut to Summers, who is skyrocketing to my absolute favorite villain in One Piece. Like, he's in my top 3. He's not my favorite yet because Dofi exists. But, oh my god. This man is absolutely brutal. Full himself, just wants to inflict violence and pain on others. No more motivation than that. So he shows up and it's just like, didn't you guys get Shakky out of here? She needs to be moved to a more secure location. And they're like, yeah, problem with that. And she's chained up, but there's a bunch of knocked out Marines in a circle around her. It's like, you did all this? And he walks up to her talking about how the pirates are close and they're so close saving her, and how no matter what happens, Garling is going to come and claim her as his. So maybe he might as well just kill her now. And her response previously was like, the pirates must be making a big ruckus outside. And he slaps her, saying there's nothing as unflattering, on cute, whatever, as a woman who knows her worth. And first of all, he's an ass. But second of all, I'm criticizing Shakky this entire flashback, and I will continue to do so. But I will give her that. She knows her worth, so props to her for that. That's the only thing I like about her character right now. That one line. And it ends the panel near the end of this chapter. But she goes to kick him, which he catches, and then, like, breaks her leg, leaves her bleeding with that pointy, spiky club of his. And I am convinced the only reason she's able to take anyone down is because they are distracted by her looks, don't take her seriously, and she knocks them out. I don't think she's ever had an actual fight with someone's true strength for her to grow in strength, because no one takes her seriously when she's fighting, and it really pisses me off. That's one thing I don't like about, well, one of the things I don't like about Sanji's character. He can't hit a woman, and it's just like, so you're not going to treat her like a true fighter. Fine, you're not taking her seriously. Whatever. Not the point. So he knocks her down and starts insulting her sadistically. I should kill you now, so when they come, they're just going to find a corpse and they'll be crushed. The pain of coming all this way, fighting through hell, surviving all of it, only to find their prize and treasure dead? He is sadistic. Summers is a phenomenal villain. But Rayleigh's not having any of it. He shows up, is like, I'll send you to the darkest part of hell. And slashes him, sends him flying. But he's got to get up. We got to see any more of extended fight. I see the Conqueror's Haki, something, Armored Haki, something about fighting them and how to actually defeat them. But not in this chapter. So he gets to Shakky. She is safe, and she breaks down. The first moment of vulnerability we see in her. Genuine emotions as she lets her shield crack around the one person that she feels safe with, and it is absolutely beautiful. And with the exception of the one line about a woman knowing her worth, the only moment, I think, in this flashback where she shows genuine character. I wish there was more of it, where we treated her like a person. But he says, I'm sorry for being late, I'm sorry for keeping you waiting, remembering that letter that she sent to him saying, come get me, make me yours. And she's bawling, is like, what took you so long? And they're together, and they're happy, and they're in love. And if we had seen a single interaction between them before this point, with the she winked at him and had like a little flirty tone as they passed each other on the boat. We didn't see them fall in love. We didn't see any interactions between them. We didn't see why she respected him. Did he treat her like a person? Did she like his strength, his intelligence, how he was not falling all over her? I don't know. We weren't shown it. We were just told they were in love. And now I get this absolutely adorable save scene at the end where I want to be like, oh, that's absolutely adorable. Love them. So cute for them as a couple, but I don't care. I didn't see the setup. I don't know why these two like each other. Whatever. Right now, I'm just wondering, where is Teach and I'm assuming his mother, Eris? However we say her name. I need to know what they're witnessing, because quite honestly, I understand all of Blackbeard's motivations for everything he's doing, and I can't blame him for anything. So I need to know where he is. I also need to know what causes Rocks to change. I don't want it to be that flippy thing. I just want it to be something character-driven, not an outside force, not something that was beyond his control. I would like him to remain in control of his own will. I really would hate for him to just get that flip thing done to turn him evil. I'm hoping it's just, I believe my wife and child is dead, so I'm going to take it out on all of you and destroy everything and everyone for what you've done to my family. I'll take that. That's fine. Maybe he finds an ancient weapon. I don't know. But I need to know what happens with Rocks, what causes the splintering of the Rocks pirates. I don't want them to go. I love them so much. But it should also be, how does this domino and fall into the death of King Harold in present-day Elbath? Because that's kind of important, and Loki needs to tell us, or Zeus has to join in for the conversation and explain more of what happened in this time period. That is all I got. Having a wonderful time. I'm mostly ignoring Shakky and the writing surrounding her, so I can continue to enjoy the God Valley flashback, because it is a phenomenal flashback, and it could have been so much better if we had a single scene of her being treated like a person. One scene. That's it. A genuine connection with the characters who are supposed to care about her. At least Rayleigh. That's all I needed. One scene. I'm not going to rant about it any longer. I'm having a wonderful time. That's all I got. Talk to you later.